I'm already loving this right now. Sabrosa is going to play as an Omen. Usually playing as a Brimstone. You have no Sage on the lineup as well for TSM playing on a defender side. So you are not playing any heals, which is something that something new that they've tested. And a lot of teams are doing that as well. But on the other end, you do have T1 with a Sage. So they have a basic setup right now for the attacker side. And let's see what's going to amass out of this, because it looks like they're going to split towards this A side.
Yeah, already the pistols coming through. Sabrosa with one. It's a quick trade here for Skadoodle. He'll back away, back into the corner, reload his weapon, and now they'll continue that push through. Omen's going to be flanking from the side. Crashy's going to secure that frag, and now TSM, they've got to answer back with the retake. That spike likely going to be going down.
Going down at the default spot at the generator. The retake is trying to come very slowly, at least. You do have one guy watching that flank. It's going to be Brax in the form of Omen, but they are already at the rafters. Hayes is looking back here. Brax is still looking at that flank. That door is closed, so they have to focus on this rafter side. But we do get the first kill coming through from the Silva onto Crashies. An aftershock trying to come out too, but does not connect. Now with that, the retake is coming through here, Simo.
Yeah, they got that door down. Still going to try to funnel their way through. Brax, he's going to be a little bit caught off guard, but Hayes with 2 pieces. Now it's all up to Brax. Can he get the job done? He's in a 1v3 scenario. One going to be caught here. That's going to be another, but the shots will not connect. And the round number 1 going over to TSM has to be a good start for them.
Very good start for sure. I mean, if you're looking at the Silva, that's no name, of course. Maybe he's still riding in his AMG, waiting to get into the server, but that is Wardell. He's going to be playing for that Silva as TSM. I like the fact that they have this Brimstone and this Omen. Now that we're testing their grounds on the defender side first, but the attacker side is where it's going to be very important to be able to use a lot of utilities on that smoke, on that mid-control side. And when you have rechargeable smokes that's available for Sabrosa as Omen, where he usually plays the Brimstone, it's going to add a lot to this slow default take from TSM side.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough round as well. It's going to be Wardell here with the Marshall. It can do a lot of damage, but Brax through the smoke. Oh, baby. And now still going to try to retrieve the weapons. Sabrosa going to back away. And that's actually a great start for T1, taking down the Marshall. Of course, it will be picked up, but Wardell out of the mix. You have to wonder, a crucial player now might, persuade the round back into their favor if they can make it work.
Definitely. Losing that Sova to start, you don't have any recon arrows. That's very important towards that mid side to get that information. Now you can see that. They're all funneling in towards this mid side, taking his full mid control. Now you're going to have to play in a lot of darkness for TSM. And speaking of darkness, it's Omen pushing forward against another Omen from Sabrosa with that Marshall at the end of middle. He's going to fall back. That's going to give a little bit of time here. So again, Brax, he's going to be watching the fight for Cutler on this catwalk. Gets the first kill onto AZK, but it's traded out. They are trying to execute inside this A-bomb side right now as they have nobody there on the defense.
Yeah, it was good of Brax as well to cut off that rotation, even tagging down a couple of members. Still going to inch their way forward. Sabrosa going to be leading that charge. The slow orb as well, going to try to stop the push. Kills already traded. And now Sabrosa still trying to push through alongside the Brimstone, but it's very difficult to assist utility after utility. But here comes the Paranoia, looking to set up the push through. Brax from the side, breaks open the glass and looking to break open the round. And they'll drop through a headshot clean down to the 1v2. And it's T1 that'll answer back on a rough eco round for them.
That was amazing for them to play that one too. That's going to hurt the economy of TSM on this defender side, which is something that has been a problem for them actually. Whenever it's good that they're able to start on the defender side first, because you're able to actually run the double operator setup if you can. But the thing is, you got ecoed right now. You don't have any money to work with, any credits to work with into the next round or two. You're going to maybe be able to run one operator with Wardell into the next round, but you can still run that double one. So hurting that economy, continuing to control that is going to look very good here for T1 to start things off, as they're still looking to an aggressive push towards this A side here.
Brax, he's been playing the catwalk so well so far, especially for the attacker side, having such presence in mid. And he's going to see one there, going to take him down. His alter ego, Sabrosa, going to fall. And a great pick, going to find a second. Looking for the third, down behind the archway, but the flash, that's going to secure the kill.
Just like that, now we have 2 alive only for TSM. They're split across the map, one at B and one at A, so it's going to have to be Drone that's going to try to come big. They're planning once again here. The spike inside the A-bomb site at the generator. Camera's going to come out here that's going to spot Hayes, and he's going to fall down. So last one to go here, at least Drone. We talked about it a lot, but he only had a ghost to work with. Only gets 1 kill, traded out. And now T1 takes the lead into this matchup here, but the first real gun round should be coming in now, and the real test comes forward for TSM.
One thing that we have to mention as well is, of course, Ascent, when it first was released, you know, felt a little bit more defender-sided, but that's going to feel the case every single time a map is released. But the end result, or at least the verdict still, is starting to come to a close and tell us that it can be a little bit more attacker-favored. So expect T1 to have a little bit of a stronger performance in this first half, and especially Brax. Look at him already, 5-2-0, 3 rounds in. He's off to a hot start and looking to continue that aggression, especially through mid.
One operator on each side, so you don't really have any double ops set up, but at the same time, too, you see the upgrades coming in across for T1. Nothing but Phantoms as well. Drone gets the first kill onto AZK as they push aggressively towards this A side, so that's already 1 man advantage to start things off. And we do have 2 ultimates ready. Sabrosa is giving him a 2-man advantage with a second kill on to Brax. Oh. And now, finally, we answer back here with Skadoodle.
Yeah, they'll now have control. Yeah, of course. But the resurrection, that'll put Brax back up into the mix, and TSM now have to be kind of feeling a little bit more scared, and that shot will alleviate that fear. And another shot not going to connect. Sabrosa going to fall. Crashies with the Phantom as well. Neural Theft going to make things just that much more interesting for the opposition. Now they'll start their push through. Still looking for information through middle, having that control of the courtyard, but haven't really decided yet where they want to go, but it's looking like A.
Yeah, the ice barrier is starting up, now broken. They have a tripwire as well. The Omen's going to teleport into B, so that's going to be a fight that's going to be canceled, actually, for that information, because they know that it's split towards A and B. So Food gets the first kill, traded out by Drone, who's going to try to fall back towards the Raptor at Heaven. Going to try to hold as long as he can for his teammate to rotate from B. Now we do have that spike is going to come down. Drone is going to come forward, actually, with a running back to cancel the plan, and now it's going to lead towards 2 versus 2. Brimstone all too late here as the spike has been planted at this point. Crash is looking to fall back in the front of the site, and the Raptor is still looking to be pushed forward by Drone.
Yeah, it's a 2v2, but still going to be one member potentially going through the door. Doesn't want to break it down just yet, so they'll use the buddy system. Hopefully going to be looking to trade kills as quickly as possible. Already around the corner, Brax going to spot one. That's going to be bad news here for TSM as they're trying to get control, but it's maybe a little bit too little too late. Crashies and Brax going to get the job done. Already 2 rounds above the opposition here, and they're looking to continue that momentum, doing, you know, good so far, but we talked about how that was the full buy round for the side of TSM, and it did not really work out in their favor.
Definitely, and that's what I wanted to see when I talked about it before. The battle between Skadoodle and Wardell. Wardell, everybody talks about him. I hype him up as well as probably the best operator in North America. I do also like Skadoodle on the operator as well. I also like Win from Gen G on the operator. This face-to-face battle, again, 2 Titans, 2 operating Titans as well. This is the matchup that I want to see. Now that he lost that gun, at least he has Sabrosa as a secondary operator that can help out the team. So that there's a lot of tools available right now for TSM to still try to bring this back here, but it shows really for T1 that as the aggressor, playing very aggressively, it's fast executions as well into the rounds, that it pays off for them, pays big dividends.
I really have to tip my hat over to Brax. He's been playing this middle so well, and he always ends up with 1 or 2 kills, and then that just means pandemonium for the side of TSM. But look at this. Drone trying to push through with the flash. Cyber Cage, great communication. They'll back away and don't lose, you know, too much for it as well. Pretty good call there from the team.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, right? Brax plays it by himself towards its mid side, and his whole team is always as a team. And now as we have an Owl Drone that's going to come through that smoke, Wallbang coming across, 4 HP remaining, as now they're looking for some cover here inside the defender side. But because of this Omen smoke that's happening towards A main, things are going to slow down for a bit. With 39 seconds left on the clock, they only have pistols to work with as well for TSM. Can they hold it right now? It seems as though the main thing is they want to try to defend and beat Brax at mid side and play a retake towards this A side.
Yeah, but he's just pushing in, trying to, you know, make it look like potentially it's going to be a B push, using a lot of the utility, trying to strike fear into their hearts, and they'll actually pull Drone off as a result of this, but still, he'll now double back, knows that the recon bolts out, he's going to be slowed as well, and not going to really get anything for it. A couple of shots from Crashies, he'll go down, they'll get that spike down, and now they have to retake on the site.
Door has been closed right here. We only have Shuri's to work with. We're trying to wallbang across the rafters as well. But Sabrosa, that's what I was talking about. He was at 4 HP only, trying to retake towards long. Loses that fight versus Food. As now, nice shot here from Wardell. Looking with the silver operator, as I like to call it here, with the 1 shot. as now he's going to look for some information here. Going to get the shock dart out towards the generator side. The clock is still ticking on that spike, though. They have to act quick. Long range here cannot connect. Finally does so, but does not get the second shot, unfortunately. Now with that, Cutler's the last one standing at the rafters. Food gets a triple kill for the round, and T1 now takes the lead by 3.
You know, this is something that we touched on a little bit before the broadcast. You know, of course, these are two titans in their own respect, but at the end of the day, whoever is really feeling themselves on the day, whoever's playing the best on the day, can really start to run away with the show. And so far from the side of T1, it does really feel like everyone's been pulling their weight. It's been a team effort, and it's still been the Crashies and Brack show really providing a lot of that pressure through mid. TSM have not found a way to deal with it like that.
Yeah, now it seems we're going to try to see if that solution is that double operator setup. And it starts off with the wall bang onto Food down to 7 HP. Thankfully, though, that has a lineup that they have a Sage that can heal up at least. So Skadoodle is going to heal up back up to 100, and they're still going to try to take mid control here as Brax is moving forward towards this catwalk side. This time, though, it's not split. They're moving as a 5-man roster to take control of this mid side. We should see a bloodbath very soon here if they're going to try to contest here on TSM side.
Yeah, we haven't really seen them go towards B so far. It does feel like A is a lot easier to take. The flash around the corner can really blind everyone and their mother from a wide distance, but a great start here from Wardell. Gonna get the kill. And you need picks like that to open up the round. Let's see what they do with it as T1 are ready for the push in.
Starts off super well here. Sabrosa even rotating on towards the back from that heaven side. So they have an operator set up crossfire inside the spawn pretty much, as Drone is still watching on that catwalk. As he spots another one here, gets the wall bang into headshot onto Food to fall down. Here comes Drone with the kill after Brax cannot connect with the second one, but Sabrosa connects onto APK. So now Skadoodle's the last man standing. Sabrosa stops in close range with the operator, and that pays off for them to get that second round into this first half.
We talked about how T1, they've got this strong grasp on a map like Ascent, undefeated in the tournament. Now we're seeing TSM slowly start to chip away at the armor. Yes, it's a little dent, but they are at least, you know, can walk away saying, okay, we got a round, can we get another? Can we get another? Little victories like that can really put them, you know, have the edge over T1 here in this best of 3.
Definitely, and you see how more passively they're playing with these opera, except for this round, right? They're going to try to get the peek towards this B link. No kills as I see on the kill feed, so that's going to stay quiet because if you look at this B map, everybody's focused on his A side again. But I was trying to say is the operators are playing super passively. Where Wardell actually got those kills was basically inside the B site from the market through the mid side. And then you have the other one, which is going to be Sabrosa operating towards the catwalk or the A site to support as well. So they're giving a lot of control for T1. It worked out in the beginning for them, but now if they continue this double operator passive setup, maybe that could be the key right now to topple T1 in his undefeated victory run on this map of Ascent.
Off your feet!
Drone, he's going to be looking to try to counter the flash with a flash of his own. He's got another one ready. The curveball's there, but unfortunately, he will not come out on top. A beautiful boost here from Skadoodle. Sees one back of sight, but will not get the frag. Slow orb going to be thrown into the back there, but it's Food, and he's chopping him up like chopped liver. 3 kills for him, and now it is all down to one final player.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's just going to try to save his gun right now. The Brimstone of Haze. Haze usually the healer as a Sage right now for TSM, but because they're not running this right now, they want to utilize these smokes on the attacker side. He's playing that Brimstone. Is he comfortable with it? So far, it's just rifling, so yes, he does get the first headshot onto Crashies, and he's just going to try to fall back here towards spawn side, which is going to be very tough. Skadoodle seems to be waiting there just on the other side, but he's looking towards that mid, so he could actually have an opening shot here if he wants to go for that lean. Meanwhile, for the rest, you see him looking back towards his mid side. They're still trying to hunt him to prevent Haze from saving that gun. But at this point here, that spike should be going off any second. Oh, man, the timing on that. So then you see Skadoodle that's looking back here towards that picture-in-picture. They're moving in towards that market side. Here's that first kill from Haze, but he cannot hold any longer after Brax dispatches him. So 5-2 now with the money. Don't think it's going to be looking too well right now for TSM.
Yeah, they'll, you know, really invest with the operator here. Wardell,
yeah.
I do feel like he may be the ticket to try to get them some open picks, and then from there, T1 don't really have the man advantage to trade. And that seems to be like what they're doing. They're pushing A as a unit, and if one falls, another will just pick up the slack and get the refrag. And in some cases, these rounds, there hasn't been a need for the refrag. They're just better at dueling here on the A site, but the operator might help chip away at some of the life forms here for T1.
Yeah, I think that's the important one. You're nailing it here, Simo, is that trade factor. They don't really have it right now in terms of looking at Brax every single round, working on his catwalk as the Omen. Dark Clouds here towards the catwalk, towards mid-side, and there's only Drone there out there to fight him every single time. And Drone flashes them, is able to flash one or two, but cannot win the fights. Can somebody else come out to support him on that? Nobody so far, because he's playing that solo. I think if he had another player to play with him there, the results might be different on this mid-control.
So far, T1 have had mid-control consistently, and like you've been saying, it's been on the back of Brax. Like, he's working catwalk, and then from there, you have catwalk. You can just easily push through pizza, and the rest is history. We're seeing them do that exactly now. Their first B push in this map. We'll see how they work their way through. Hayes going to be the first line of offense. See as they come around the corner.
Smokes, but here comes the flashpoint. Still, Wardell gets the first kill with the operator, but Hayes still falls inside the market no matter what. Kyler making a little bit of an audible sound as he walks through that cybercade, but they have not converted inside B yet. It was somewhat of a close range fight here as we do have basically one still back towards the mid side, but a big flank from Sabrosa gets Brax down. But so far, everybody's just falling like flies towards B, towards mid, so they just storm back towards his A side. There's no time, barely any time, but at least they'll get the spike down. Sabrosa now, or should I say Wardell, sorry, the last man standing, gets the kill onto Food as soon as the wall breaks. And now can he win this clutch 2 versus 1?
Very difficult for TSM. I really thought that they were able to at least hold off B and then the rotate through. Sabrosa was in a perfect position. Maybe if he played it a little bit more patiently, that would have boded well for him. Now it's the 1v2, still doable here for Wardell. He's got himself 100 HP. No armor though. Recon Bolt may be able to spot things out, but that spike is ticking and he needs to get involved quickly. They're going to be one behind Generator, the other back corner. That's going to be the first shot. Comes through Wardell with one, but it's the operator. Cannot let Wardell through. His own device is going to find him there, and Skadoodle with another kill on the board.
And you saw there, Skadoodle had the res ready if he wanted to, but when you looked at that scoreboard, Brax was already at 9k. We had a couple of guys at 8k as well. The money is so healthy right now for T1, as we do have, unfortunately, seems like another eco that's going to come through for TSM. They should put now on the board 7-2, because I haven't seen anything that's going to be like, oh wow, they're going to win this with pistol so far for TSM. I think they're just getting pushed back and turtled in and just losing these fights every single time. By being able to turtle back with these smokes and then using these flashpoints from the breach, it's just so good for the execution that T1 has now on this map of Ascent.
Saw their drone tried to push through and get maybe a little bit more aggressive on the catwalk, but when you have a sheriff, you may not be the only sheriff in town. A couple of those deputies were looking to get rid of him, but they'll just fall back. Drone here going to be helping to defend the A site, but the whole team, they're just here again. And like you said, they're just going to push through. They've got the flashers to get that job done, but so far, they're just biding their time and gathering information.
And that's small things, right? You see the Owl drone going towards that floor in case he could activate some tripwires too. Here comes an aftershock that's going to come across the wall as well, but Cutler still gets the first kill into this round for the team, at least of TSM, but he falls quickly after that by AZK, who pushes forward on the second kill onto Drone. Closing the door, should be an easy plant. Now a 4-on-2 situation in favor of T1. At this point, you're just looking at exits. I mean, you only have Hayes with the classic. I think his teammate only has a sheriff as well. And even Brax long range, watching those lurkers, watching the rotates, just connects every single time.
I think that, you know, at this point, if I'm TSM, I'm wondering, how many more rounds can I get in this half? What is possible for us in the long run? However, when they swap over to the attacker side, what is going to change? What are they going to do different? Do T1 have an answer for the attack? We're going to have to wait and see, but so far we still have a couple more rounds here remaining in the first half.
We sure hope that they do have an answer into this one. If not, I mean, like I said, every time they've played Ascent, it's always been really one-sided here, Simo. They're always losing like 13-4, 13-5s. I think when it comes down to playing against Together We Are Terrific, they learned versus that playstyle where maybe they could actually get a little bit better the next time they face off against each other. But T1, brand new roster that they're playing against on this very map. They haven't had that much experience to be able to practice that yet. So now AZK looking for some information with this recon arrow. Even Sage Orbs that's going to go look up towards that catwalk. So is it going to be a little bit faster right now for the attackers to move forward? It's still going to be very slow with walking double setup here from Crashies and from Brax to move forward, and Drone with the run it back gets the first kill.
Yeah, this is really crucial for them to have that control. They actually had 2 behind the archway as well to make sure that if any of those members fell, they could at least get the refrag. And now they'll have control of the A site, but really the question is for how long. Drone, of course, he had control of the catwalk, but they gave him control of the site. He will find one in ACK. Food will answer back onto Cutler. He'll get that door down. The spike as well. Let's see how the retake occurs.
Sub Rosa so patient right now. He's going to try to get a bit more information into the site before spots that second one. So Brax is going to fall. Spike has just implanted a generator. Food looking to clutch the situation. He's going to get the flashpoint coming across. Gets the 180 headshot onto Hayes. Now he has the rolling thunder looking at heaven. He does spot one and they're both there. So he's pulling right back. Aftershock to come out through as well. He's running around the generator so far and he spots Wardell with that gate. Another flashpoint, but he does not get the kill as Wardell swings across with the Phantom and the defuse will come in. Much needed round here for TSM as they finally put a third on the board.
Yeah, you know, T1, they made their way onto the site, but unfortunately for them, TSM were in a great position. They pulled 2 off the middle archway, and then they were able to funnel in through the garden, through the rafters there, and really just do some damage, all up to Food. He got a couple of frags there on his way out, but was not enough. Great round for the side of TSM. At the end of the day, that's all they could ask for in this first half is rounds, and small rounds at that. So 2 more left. Let's see how they make do of the situation that they're in. But it does not look like a double op setup. They'll just stick with 1 onto Wardell.
Yeah, that's why the money's always been super low right now, right? Very difficult for them to manage right now to be able to get a double operator setup, sorry. And Drone is going to be the first one that's going to try to get information towards A this time instead of going towards Catwalk, but at least it's a buddy system that they have set up. Cutler gets the first kill, Paranoia out as it trades out here, Simo.
Ooh. Give me the drone as well. ACK gonna try to gather information. There's one in the smoke. Unfortunately, that's gonna be the Hunter's Fury. Looking to try to get a couple of those shots through the cement bricks, but not going to find anyone dead to rights. Just a couple of tags there from the side of ACK. Shock darts as well. Just trying to throw in all the utility that they have to make sure that they have control of this site, but so far TSM is doing a great job keeping them at bay.
Yeah, to generate those Sub Rosa is very in a hard spot, actually, and Food's going to be able to dispatch him quite easily there. Plant is going to come through again, and unfortunately, another scenario where they have to retake. How many times, Simo, have we went towards B-side so far for T1? Basically 0.
Yeah. I mean, they faked it once. I mean, not fake, but they committed through mid. They didn't even have one come in through the fish market. They just committed all through pizza. And then from there, there's like, oh, we lost one? Let's just double back to A. Like, A looks nice this time of year. I think it's quite tropical. Let's just go over there. Let's have a, you know, throw up a couple of pina coladas, and that's exactly what they've been doing round after round. The A site, very difficult for TSM to defend. We haven't seen much adaptation come out from their end.
They've tried it a bit on that beginning of that round when they tried to push forward with the A control on that A main. It worked a bit, but now you see Food moving forward, and he's looking for these last 2 guys that are holding in the back of that B site. And at this point, though, as he's by himself, it's going to be a very tough one for him to try to win. So technically, the spike goes out. The 2 guns will be able to get saved here for TSM. They win this next round here. It's actually not too bad to finish this first half. I mean, we've seen dominance, and we've been praising the dominance of T1 so far on Ascent. But if it's 8-4 and they switch sides to where I still believe here Ascent could be very attacker-sided, then we might see things a little bit more different here.
We talked a little bit about the matchup between Skadoodle and Wardell on the operator. Yeah, I don't really feel like either of them have really been the star of the show. It's been Food and Brax really putting on a clinic, and they've been doing so all through the courtyard.
Yeah, and I thought we were going to see our first battle here towards this mid side. You saw Wardell trying to look out, but it was actually enemies heading towards the spawn site to B. So we're finally switching things over. After 11 rounds into the 12, we're walking into B. We have a camera set up here, as Cutler's going to try to hold this solo. So camera to get information, and he's going to try to do the best as he can. We saw that Dark Cloud, come through. Cybercade should come out. Paranoia to blind Cutler as well. He needs his backup now.
Oh, baby, that shot's not going to be good. He will end up finding Crashies, though. A crucial round for them to win. Look, there's a party there off to the side. Cutler, trying to get involved, but the flash going to be the end of him there. Back to the spectate screen with you. Wardell trying to get active here, but unfortunately for him, it's just smokes galore, and they've got control of the site.
Yeah, now it's only been planted now, so there's still plenty of time here for the team to move forward and try to retake. And it's Rosa with the wall bang to start things off onto Food. Now we do have It's a Hunter's Fury coming out inside the site from Wardell, but does not connect, so Broza to fall. Everybody's falling, unfortunately, and that is going to have to be the man in the AMG with an operator on his own on a 3 versus 1 here, Simo.
Well,
Stop.
That was very short-lived. The AMG had a flat tire, and Brax made sure that he could not get AAA to come on over. Great half for the side of T1, 9-3. Pretty much as best as you could have asked for it, but now they'll have to show their defending chops on a potentially attacker-sided map. Of course, the verdict seems to be locking in on it being attacker-sided. We'll see how TSM are able to use their newfound strategies, hopefully, that they've thought about, theory-crafted. How are they going to take down T1? Let's find out.
That's why before, when I was saying that but before the action started, is because they actually had the chance to play defender side or attacker side even before against Together We Are Terrific. And they still got spanked when they were playing the attacker side. So hopefully they learn something a little bit more from their matchup from Together We Are Terrific that could transcend it into this one here. And it's going to start off with a heavy battle towards B side.
Yeah, they're switching things up here a little bit. T1, of course, they just hit a time and time again, and TSM going to try to give them a little bit of a taste of their own medicine. Switching things up over to B. So far, refrags back and forth around the corner, but it's Sabrosa that is able to help this team make their way onto the site. Brack trying to wait there in the back corner for Wardell. That'll seal the deal on his fate. And now it's all up to AZK, and his alter ego, Wardell, will take him down. A great start to the half for TSM.
And that's something that maybe I'm starting to see as to why teams don't really want to attack towards this B side, Simo, is because that shed towards that market where that lever is, it's paper thin walls. So you just spam through that, you can get headshots, you can get wall bangs, even just with a pistol, with a ghost, to be able to get those kills. And we saw that from that nice shot from Brax. We saw it from Hiko yesterday, playing with 100 Thieves, where he was getting wall bangs after wall bangs with the ghost as well. Maybe that's why B-side is a little bit hard to take. And, well, it was proven differently, though, at least for TSM, because Sabrosa just went on fire, and he cracked, basically, on that pistol with that 2K.
Like these economic adaptations, you don't really see too often assault rifles being purchased on the second round, but yet we see Sabrosa. He's got himself a Phantom, and there's a cute little bunny on the side looking to do some damage. And so far, he's going to be playing the role of Brax, similar to that previous half. Having a little bit of control, but the jiggle jump peek going to work out here for Braxton. He's going to smoke his way off of Pizza. But still, it's TSM spread out across the map, looking to try to find their entry, or at least a pick to open things up.
You see how it's different there. Look at how T1's playing the eco, at least. They're playing 4 players on this catwalk. They're really setting up for a trade. And it starts off with the flashpoint. Food getting the first kill, but Sabrosa's still watching that flank. So at first, the fall color still moving inside A, though. He gets 1 and 2, traded off by Crashies, but there's still 1 inside the site. Crashies going to close that door, but you have Drone towards the top rafters. So he's going to be able to probably get that surprise attack on to the Cypher, and indeed he will. So Brax now with the Sheriff inside that garden, stuck on a 3 versus 1. The man that could do it, it's him. So he starts off with the headshot onto Sabrosa. He knows that Drone is close, so he's looking for the tight angle. You could see this crosshair placement. He wants to look very close here, but in the scaffolding by the window is where Drone is waiting so far, and he connects with that shot as well. So we have a 1 versus 1 spike has just been planted. Can Brax win this 1 versus 1 against Wardell, who doesn't even want to peek right now into this fight?
Down to like 30 HP, but the Marshal is going to get the job done. A great round for TSM to win, but the economy, you have to wonder, it's probably in shambles here for the attacker side. They'll probably buy up here and try to match what is up ahead, but you see the armor is not really there. And for the side of T1, they'll be able to get locked and loaded, likely to the best of their capabilities. We are seeing a little bit more of a similar circumstance where the armor is not exactly quite there. For the side of TSM, they don't have weaponry across the board.
Definitely. Like that. I like that picture in picture. You see some real art here from Ascent. But now it starts off here with Recon Owls heading towards his B side. Couple of flashpoints at the A side as well, but no real opposition to start. Cyber Cage being thrown on the attacker side. I don't know if they want to battle first to try to get the orb. I feel like they're going to leave it open. So Drone's going to be the one that's going to try to get an entry here. And we've talked about Drone before. I mean, I got to give a shout out to Fion on Fire that was saying, you know, Asuna had so many opening kills, but he wasn't number 1 actually for First Blood. It's actually Drone so far in this tournament. I made the math. I think he had about 43 opening kills in 11 maps in this tournament so far. So that's why you want him being the first one to peak. You want him to basically play solo, but he's had a hard time playing it on Catwalk so far. Hopefully on the attacker side, he could change.
Really like the way TSM have been playing the map so far. T1 we've seen pretty much for all 12 rounds. They really held on towards A. And really nobody decided from the defense, from the side of TSM, to push in through the fish market and try to catch somebody out in rotation, or at least even have a little bit of a peek. I mean, you've got a Cypher, and if they're hitting A every time, why don't you have a look? But so far in this round, really like the way that they spread out and then they start to zone in exactly where they want to go, and it's going to be A for them. They'll start that push in. Sabros are going to break down that door, but the Aftershock going to keep them at bay for just a few seconds.
So Broza's still trying to open it up here, and AZK trying to walk through the smoke at the same time, and it's going to be Food, though, still holding his ground inside the A site, gets a triple kill, and now it's only going to be Wardell, and there's only 4 seconds left. He has to fall back. He has to try to save the operator into the next round, and unfortunately, it is going to be a round loss here for TSM. Now 10-5 in favor of T1. The attacker side here for TSM, still no solution found yet, especially due to the fact that they lost so many players on that second round versus a Sheriff, wielded by Brax. And that little things, even if they lost that round, it brings that economy back onto the defender side, where they had the Phantoms playing against lower weapons, and then boom, things have turned around and T1's regaining their momentum.
And now look at TSM. They don't really have the buy. We're seeing the Sheriffs come through. Of course, we've seen that to be quite potent throughout the tournament, not exclusively to this match alone. But for the sake of argument's sake, the economy obviously now favoring them means that this round likely could go over to the side of T1, especially considering TSM have to play into T1 and get that spike planted somewhere. Very difficult when you don't have the weaponry to tango.
Definitely. And now we do have results from a poll, at least. It seems as though for 63%. At 1,600 people believe that T1 is going to be moving forward to the Grand Finals versus TSM. Looking at it so far, I do agree here, Simo.
I mean, at the end of the day, if we're just going to base it off this map, T1 have had quite a great performance. And, you know, a betting man could lock it in early, but we're going to see Brax going to find one, makes his way out. Paranoid going to make things that much more difficult for Wardell to escape, but he will make his way out. Oh, sorry, it's Crashies that takes him down. And look at T1 playing aggressive, but Sabrosa denies that aggression. Brax now having to play from distance, but it's T1. They're trying to triangulate onto their position. It's Cutler with the Sheriff, but the Deputy takes him down. Crashies finding that last frag, and now we are 1 away from match point.
You see a little bit the confidence coming now from T1. They brought the fight over to TSM. They said, we're going to take this mid control. Pushing in towards this mid archery side, pushing towards that catwalk. It almost didn't pay off. I mean, you still got 3 kills no matter what as TSM. Yes, they still have money to work with for T1, but they build up the orbitals, the ultimate points rather. They have the economy that they build up at the same time too, with 300 credits for the kill. Things are looking good for them right now to hopefully win this next round because they have 3 ultimates ready. And it starts off with Drone with the running back into the B site, and he's going to look through the cyber cage, through the cloud smoke, and now he's looking towards that back of the site, and he's just looking for that information. Gets that first kill onto Crashies with a 180.
So much utility used just to deny run it back, and he'll still end up with a frag. Super crucial for TSM to at least try to make this round go their way. That spike will go down. Brax through the smoke. Oh, yes! That's what I like to see, but it's going to be quickly answered back. Cutler taking out Food. Brax still trying to provide some fire from a distance. Not going to work out for them, and now they'll prepare for a different angle on the retake.
That's right. So they used 2 ultimates here. They run it back, and then they also keep their neural theft at least into the next round for TSM. As Drone is still watching the angles, you could see that you just called it, Simo. They're saving for the weapons into the next round. Because they've lost so many guns against Sheriffs on that previous round, they can't afford to lose any guns here. If not, they're going to be in a full save situation into the next. And now as that spike's going to go off, are we going to have some exit kills at least as they're setting up right now on this mid fountain side? You saw the shadow step from that Omen on the top of Brax here in the mid fountain right there. But he does not spawn anybody, unfortunately. So at least they managed to come out unscathed, only losing 1 player for TSM. And it's going to look good at least into this one here to build all the economy that they need to get the abilities and the full armor with the exception of Drone.
You know, for TSM, I feel like you're just dangling by a thread. Of course, you're able to make ends meet there on that round, but T1 have this buffer dangling right in front of you, carrot on a stick, just so close to finishing out this map. And any round that does not go over to the favor of TSM, if they get picked off or if something goes wrong and I execute, it's going to be bad news for TSM. They're going to lose that first map early. You're seeing exactly what I'm talking about. Skadoodle finding a kill onto Drone, maybe the most important member with those early entries, and it's going to be bad news now, potentially for the rest of the round.
Yeah, so that's what we talked about here. We have Brimstone smokes, we have Omen smokes, but they're not utilizing it too often, right? You saw them set up at the beginning so they could take this mid control, but the difference right now from how they're playing it versus how Brax was playing it towards mid, for example, was that he always made sure that that mid was smoked, at least for a good portion of the round. But now that it's opened up, they're moving forward. They're going to try to take control of this pizza side to maybe move inside market where a camera is posted up. But as I see no opposition towards this CT spawn, or sorry, defender spawn, they decide to fall back towards mid.
Butler going to be leading the charge here, potentially towards the tree room. We'll see if they'll look through to get in together. AZK going to be waiting on the opposite side, not exactly in the tree room, just waiting through the garden. Smokes are going to go down, which means a potential execute, but it's only the Omen player who's on the opposite side. So Bro's going to try to get active here. Here's a couple of those trampling footsteps on the other side. Doesn't know AZK is right above him to the left. Now going to throw a smoke as well. AZK smells that something's up, takes him down from behind, but they will still call that execute towards B. Let's see how they do.
Well, we do have opposition in the back of the side. One is tagged. It's going to be Hayes, and now he's down as well, and Crashies gets a double kill. The second one onto Cutler, and you asked how good that was going to be? Well, definitely terrible. As now it is map point situation for T1, 12-6. Terrible because there was just too many utilities left there on that B-side hold. The camera just did so much for them.
You know, you have to wonder for TSM now. They might be already thinking towards that next map. You're looking at their buy here. It's an operator and a sheriff. The weaponry is just ranging from all sides. But still, Phantoms online for TSM. They might be able to get the job done, but based on what we know and how T1 have been playing, the odds are not in their favor, but the odds are going to start to stack towards them. A great open for Wardell. Let's see how they use this.
Now they have that neural theft, so information is going to be given away. There's a 4-on-4 situation, though, as Crashies has been dropped as well. Actually, a 4-on-3 now, as we do have a flashpoint coming through, and Food continues the action towards the long range at mid, but he loses that fight to Cutler. AZK, though, looking to trade it out, wins it against Wardell, who misses the operator shot. And now we summon up on a 2 versus 2 situation. We still have a Brimstone ultimate ready on the attacker side as Cutler is looking to meet up with his teammate. Actually, he's waiting on Catwalk. His teammate's moving forward. AZK is going to get this information, though, with the Owl drone coming through.
Yeah, Brack's going to be the one that's right there waiting for one kill. It's going to be Hayes that takes him down, and it's a quick trade of kills. Now down to the 1v1. The spray as well from AZK. He'll back away, but it's all down to Hayes now. And, you know, at this point in time, I just like to say, in a 1v1 against the Brimstone, and he's got orbital strike, I think that it's near impossible to defuse that spike, but already that tripwire going to give the information, and if AZK can get there in time, he might be able to stop this. The Hunter's Fury is a great opportunity, but that spike's already down and not even going to tag him with the Hunter's Fury. 1v1, and silly. Let's see how this pans out.
Yeah, you just saw it. You pull out the knife or your axe or whatever when you saw the Hunter's Fury come out because you just want to book it as close as you can against your opponent. Now he has no information. He's probably still thinking you're holding in the back of the site, but he moves in an area we could actually cover it from the spawn side. So at the defender entrance, he does have the orbital strike. His opponent's walking right into him. At least he looked at the right angle at least, but Hayes wins that fight and keeps the dream alive now for TSM into this map.
Yeah, that's not even a 50-50. There's just so many angles for you to look at. And at the end of the day, AZK played that as best as he possibly could. But if we're taking a quick look at T1, they still have the economy to really get things cooking. It is, of course, being dwindled down. And for TSM, they are also kind of trying to make ends meet. Those pennies and dimes are adding up to quite a buy for them this round. But we'll see how T1 are able to keep their... Well, I mean, there's no momentum if they just win the game right here, right? So we'll see how their economy shapes up if TSM are able to close this out. But so far, it's just TSM trying to hold on by a thread.
Yeah, definitely. That's a tough one. Winning the round there, as you said. Only having a Bulldog, 4 Phantoms to try to move forward. No operators right now for Wardell. Skadoodle has the upper hand now as he has so much information from the way that he's operating towards the A main. They actually even put the breach inside that area as well, towards what I like to call the cafe, or wine, I think you like to call it, Simo, on that left side entrance.
Yes. Yeah.
But now that Skadoodle is looking back towards his mid, this is going to be good right now because they could bait out, Skadoodle could bait out so many players and maybe they won't even check in that area where the breach is currently waiting. So this is going to be huge right now for Food.
Yeah, it's going to be very tricky. AZK not going to be able to stop that push forward, but it's Skadoodle that's going to answer back, get the res and the barrier orb. But there's just a lot going on. The red carpet's going to be rolled out here for the team. And oh, baby, T1 keeping things cooking. Frag after frag. AZK there with 2, all down to Wardell in a 1v5. I don't know, Vansili, it's looking like, yeah.
Yeah, and that's going to end it there. First map here coming in for T1, 13-7. As they showed a lot of dominance here on this first map. Attacker side did not pull in favor here for TSM, again, because of the economy that was so well managed and so well contained from T1 side versus TSM. I mean, like you said, Simo, they probably looked forward into this next one. Let's look into the next map. Let's focus on Haven and try to get things done. But when you're looking at this here, Food, 320 average combat score, Brax at 233. I mean, it's no surprise. Food did a great job on the defender. Brax did a great job on the attacker, especially with the buddy system that he had with Crashies.